We're stupid. We're really stupid.
Very stupid. We might be said that we are in fact 3/4
Of one idiot.
Witty comment here.
Yes, that.
Witty response here.
No. Lines.
Sassy response.
Lines.
Sassy response. Lines for everyone. Nice.
So this is Leighton's half. It has trains, and that's what the video's about. And that's Brett's half. It has
Something old.
not train, but it's a train on the side.
We can't feature this on your YouTube channel. It's not a train.
It's true.
Or a guitar.
Or anything.
Or a GTO.
That's true.
Precisely. Exactly. Do I have a G, a T, and an O? No, I do not. I could make you a G and T.
Well, you do have tires.
I didn't even have a T. I just have an O.
You have oil.
Oh no, of course I have a T. Duh.
In fact, you have 2 T's. He's got a big TT.
I do. Are you saying the man has big T's?
He only has 1. If he had 2, then he would have TTs.
Bam.
But he's just got 1.
Just got the one. This is a
More at 11.
5 Model TT. Made by Ford. It has 177-ish cubic inches. It makes 20-ish horsepower. Goes 15-ish miles an hour.
Lots of ish in there.
There's a lot of ish. It's got an engine.
And an awooga.
An obnoxious red plastic Harbor Freight awooga.
Walden's finest awoogas.
You can get an awooga horn from Harbor Freight.
I love it. Your engine block is much prettier than mine. And your engine bay.
Smaller.
It is. It is.
And less efficient.
Well, I'm pretty sure that I'm making like 200 horsepower out of 400 cubic inches, so
You're still more efficient.
I'm still much more efficient than this. That is true.
What are you talking about? According to Henry Ford, this is the perfect engine.
Of course. This is the only vehicle you ever need.
The one and only.
The one. The only. Although this isn't the one and the only. This was an improvement to the one and the only. Which
How
is
did
kind
you
of
get a
red flag.
clean water bag?
That's his.
That's mine.
Mine's that one.
I was gonna say that's more representative to
That one's mine. That
every
one's his.
single one that I've ever seen.
Precisely. Oh, no, I do have clean water bags, actually.
And
Hang on.
Rep and Company merch. Check out the store on YouTube if you too want to have a K36 on its side on your shirt.
You too can look like this.
But do you want that? Woo!
Alrighty then.
So trains.
Trains.
Lots and lots of trains. Oh, you've got Durgwa ones.
Oh, you've got 2 Durgwa ones.
I do. An old and a new.
Wait, who's making new Durgwa ones?
Nobody. The DNS made these in like the 80s because they've got Delrin. The stopper is plastic.
Oh.
This is an actual Durgwa one though.
Oh, I want a Durgwa
That's
one.
neat. Yes. Why drink water out of a bottle when you could drink it out of a bag?
A scummy burlap bag.
Indeed. All right, Mr. Moreland. Tell us about trains.
In the beginning, there were trains.
In the beginning, there was a flange, but they put it on the wrong side. And then somebody thought, oh, let's put the flange on the inside. And then the train as we know it was still very far away. Cool, so this is my layout. The largest one that I have ever personally built.
It is quite large.
It's huge.
It's huge. It's big, scary, and big.
It's an Alaskan rail train.
Sure.
I don't know. That's Mike's layout. His is an Alaskan bowler.
Oh yeah,
It's an Alaskan diesel.
Mike.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it is a lot bigger than I was anticipating. You said the dimensions, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah,
that's not that big. And then you
6.5 by 18 with a 30-inch aisle is kind of impressive.
yeah, it's large.
Yeah, this is a lot of yard for HOn3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is bigger than most HO standard gauge yards.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, but I could actually have like 2 prototypical length trains pass each other.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Like every good model railroad, he's got a beer opener built into it, and it's got a chingadera. Oh, a chingadera with a hole.
Yeah.
What?
The
So-
hole is important.
So this is your citation needed. What the heck did that come off of? It's a bowl with a hole.
Is
So
it?
either it's failed its soup-
Is it a bullet-nosed cat for a small Crosby whistle?
No.
No.
It's not railroad related.
not railroad related.
Well, I mean, depending on the context, many of them were in fact put on rails.
This is true.
So,
Is it an exhaust condom for your tea?
No.
no. But, getting closer.
Is it a... Oh!
It's a carb bowl.
It's a carburetor bit.
It's the bowl.
The bowl.
Carb.
That's
A little sad
Where else do you keep your
carburetor.
bottle caps?
that is a very sad little carburetor. Is that what that has?
Yes. It's a glorified airbrush.
Pop it.
Oh.
With when you're out front. Choke.
Well, you just how do you adjust the choke while driving? Do you just get
There's
out?
one that so it connects here and then it goes up
Oh,
this
God,
linkage into
it's-
the cab. Which I don't have that one connected, but it's got this nice little knurled silver knob that comes up through the dash. You can see the hole.
Well, that's fun. It's got two chokes.
It does have 2 chokes.
Very neat.
And that's about it.
Content we all crave. Bottle opening cam. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bicycle. Bicycle.
I want to ride my
Bicycle. Bicycle.
I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike.
Yes.
Who lets us be on the internet?
The problem is that the internet is run by the stupid.
Oh, that is true. So, Mr. Moreland,
Yeah.
this is your soon-to-be narrow gauge empire.
Yes.
Let's do some. Give us a rundown. What the size, the gauge, the things,
All right.
the design choices.
Okay, so I will presume at some point we can walk through this in CAD because that will be a bit easier. Than,
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Hey, of course he's got it in CAD.
Yeah. That is part of the nerdy genius of this.
Yes.
My genius knows no bounds. This feels like model railroading music.
It does.
Feels like
Town ladies.
a song.
A
real song. You know, the Camptown ladies.
Like the Camptown ladies.
The Camptown
Town ladies.
Okay, so Leighton, this is your model railroad. That's work in progress. Could tell the viewers what is the thought behind the railroad itself?
So, the thought behind the railroad itself is that there should be model trains. And
Cool.
they should do their things.
Cool.
Let there be
That's
trains.
the
Let
answer
there
you're
not be-
looking for, correct?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
where is your local? Are you modeling a specific area or just trains?
Okay, so this is not anything in particular. Personally, I am a really anal retentive, detail-oriented person. That's why I'm an engineer.
Yep.
And if I try to model something like exactly particular, I will get way too into it, and I'm not a happy camper then. So I do proto-land. So do it accurate, but just my own BS.
That's
So
yeah.
with
It's,
operations in mind, taking cues from historical things. So this town yet here to be named that you will see in beautiful CAD. Right now, you may be wondering, why is all this track laid out here? There's no cork, there's no anything, and why is it white when this is clearly the pink foam plywood Pacific?
indeed.
That is because, ladies and germs, I designed this layout in the computer in CAD.
I love this. This is something that my Robert would have done. This is something Choo Choo Bob would have done.
Yes.
That I'm pretty sure he actually did do this with one of his layouts. Actually, we never got to build it, god damn it. We were going to totally redo his Lionel train layout, and I still have it drawn in CAD for that basement of that house.
Sounds like you need to buy the house back. It is intended to be kind of generic color on a narrow gauge. I'm very fond of the Gunnison area. And
The bee!
the
bee!
bee!
The bee!
It's full of bees!
Oh, there, yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about Brett's baby bee at some point.
Bee!
Bees!
It's called the prospector scheme.
Hang on. Can you turn the camera towards me for a second? Yes, I'm rolling my eyes at you.
You know who you are.
Yes, you do.
So I drew up the whole layout in CAD.
Okay.
I had an idea that I wanted to do it in the garage, and so I set kind of a general space requirement where I could still have enough room to have a 24-inch radius, a fair amount of mainline running without turnouts.
Okay.
Which it's very easy when designing model railroads to go, turnouts everywhere!
John Allen! Spaghetti!
Give me the industries now.
Yes.
And I wanted to make it something that's realistic, because it's kind of a pet peeve of mine. Because if you look at, I don't know, something like Cimarron or even like Chama or Durango, they don't have a lot of industries there.
No.
Yeah, they're serving a couple. It's not like this is, you know, the Brooklyn waterfront
In the 1950s, yeah.
with a steel cachet just chilling out going down the street. That was a thing that happened.
They claimed it scared the horses less. I don't see why it would.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's a building that moves. I don't understand
It
why.
still makes the angry chop chop noises.
It does, and
Didn't
it
you
makes
say-
more of them,
Yeah.
arguably.
Yeah, it echoes.
So I had a few requirements. I wanted to have 24-inch radius
Sure.
and all number 6 turnouts. So
Number
that's
6.
Yep. So
Alf English.
huh?
What is this?
Oh, number 6. Okay, this is where we're gonna, I'm presuming, cutting to something where Mark draws in a doodle.
Look, it's a train. Okay.
It's a train. Yeah.
we have a Y.
Yep. Mark cuts in a doodle of what the heck does this mean? Number 6, number 1, whatever turnout.
Yes. Switches.
Yeah, turnout.
Turn.
Switches.
Yes.
Frogs. Flanges. Point we're gonna stop around.
Bees.
Bees!
Eggs.
So
I hope he gets the eggs.
Delicious
based
eggs.
on that desire to have 24-inch radius and not just have it be a complete circle, have some ability to have some tangent on the curve, and using that as a basis, I came upon 6.5 feet. I wanted to have, well, initially it was 6 feet, but I wanted to have a 30-inch aisleway that I'm standing in right now. And yeah, so 6.5 is kind of the number I settled on. I wanted to leave enough room at the garage door where I could still get around to it if I needed to or I wanted to.
Yes. Yeah, this is smart. So you can, when it's winter in Colorado and snowing, you can still play with your choo-choo trains and see what's going on. This is a very pretty turnout.
I will explain that in a minute.
Yes, cool. Carry
Talk
on.
about custom turnouts.
Carry on.
Carry on.
We've already sang one classic rock song poorly. Classic rock song poorly today.
So,
How's that chorus doing, Mark?
Woo!
we need dominoes. So, getting back to what we were talking about here with the layout, I wanted to be able to have a big size passing track. I wanted it to be like realistic. So, I like the Gunnison area, but I didn't want to do the Gunnison yard because I didn't want to have, you know, the giant ass roundhouse. And there's only one kit that's ever been made for that. They're super hard to find, and it's like $300.
Yeah,
So,
expensive.
it's evil. So, I just decided to come up with my own bullshit.
Well, there you go.
So this is what I came up with using, I think, 2-inch track centers. I prefer doing it where my main line, if I have a big, long, straight section like this, is that your actual center line of your track is actually angled. It's not parallel. In my opinion, that makes it feel longer, and it's a more efficient use of space.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. When you're running parallel to the edge, I mean, it's almost boring to watch.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoy that design choice. I didn't realize you made that design choice, but I agree.
Also, it feels longer. Trigonometrically speaking, it is longer.
It is longer, yes. You are doing what they call the hypotenuse.
On hypotenuse. Okay, so
Somehow.
we got our yard here. Got at one point here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks across, which just feels perverted.
But then you've got more over here.
Yeah, then I've got more over there. But
Yeah.
that's caboose track, and then that's rip track, and yeah.
RIP stands for repair in place, not rest in peace in this case.
I don't know. Depends how much the slack action was.
Very true.
Cue picture of end pulled off pipe gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then I've got a turntable and roundhouse down there. I've got a Kitwood Hills model of the Durango turntable.
Oh, that'll be fun.
That'll be neat. Got a little house track here. Gonna have a stock pen here. Brett and I actually spent about an hour talking about industries here. So we've got stock pen here.
Sheep.
And then we go through, and in terms of other industries, we've got Oster Oil and Lubricants here.
Good man.
Yep, because Fred was an oil man. So 2 tracks here. And then this is Brandstetter Manufacturing Tool and Die. I don't know, not Brandstetter, just Brandstetter, because why would we spell it right? That's how you treat friends.
That is how you treat friends.
So I drew up the whole thing in CAD, and as you can and then I did a roll plot of it. So this is 1-to-1 scale. I just printed out the whole damn thing, which will come in handy when it gets to this little wheel here that we will explain very soon.
Yes.
But something I want to point out here is that you can already see I've made some changes. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that I didn't model this in correctly, and I'm just deciding to do it this way now. And
You're the guy that f***s up the goddamn drawings that I have to deal
I was
with.
gonna say, you're revising after a 100% plan design? You son of a
How
whistle.
dare you? Do you know how much money it will cost to make these change orders to this railroad?
absolutely nothing. That's why I did it.
Hey, look, absolutely nothing. He's like every general contractor ever. You're just gonna make these changes, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we got a fair number of industries here. We're gonna have a little town scene here, church. Then this side of the layout is where we get mountain and river. So for anybody who's ever driven west of Gunnison towards Blue Mesa Reservoir, which is slowly being less reservoir-ish and more the valley being reclaimed because reasons. That's the canyon area I'm wanting to model. We've got a turnout here that we're gonna walk through how to install. That will be going up to a mine here. Still working on a name, but it'll be something Amalgamated Union Byzanium Corporation, and that's their DS9 mine, Deep Shaft 9.
The yours and ours mine.
No, just Deep Shaft 9.
You could just call it the Seagull Mine. Mine!
No, that's a Star Trek reference, because we're civilized nerds here, damn it.
Oh, okay. No Nemo.
Boy! Yeah, do you want to come over to this side or go down to there and you can see the shenanigans down here?
Pile of track.
Pilo track, yes. Aside from the Pilo track and other handy dandy turnout here, also custom made for me.
Nice.
Yeah, we got a Y here. So this is loosely based on an area called Cimarron,
Okay.
which once had an economy.
Does Cimarron exist anymore?
Yes.
Is there a Cimarron?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a country store there and a national park exhibition display
Okay.
thingy. Anyway, so this is not Cimarron
Leighton,
though.
you have floating track.
It's also pumpkin.
Well, you see, Leighton, you got floating track. You got floating track.
It's that thing's fault right there.
You know-
right there.
Right there!
Look at the. It's been a minute since I've seen your peaches, and she's very pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Leighton, this is a division point model, which means that Leighton spent too much money on it, but it's amazing.
yes, well, that was my present to myself for getting a master's degree, which I also spent way too much money on for the amount of use that it gets now. So,
I'm a groundskeeper at a museum.
Brett's the one
He's not
actually
in there.
doing stuff that is like corollary to his academic qualifications. So,
Which I'm not, because I'm a civil engineer and my degree is in basically mechanical engineering.
yeah, well.
Anyways.
So all
Yes.
three of us are idiots.
So
Yes, we told you that at the beginning.
yes. So this is not Cimarron, because then I don't have to model it exactly. No, this is in fact Cimarron.
Some moron.
Cimarron.
Some moron.
Yeah, so this is Cimarron. So we've got a mill over there that will be receiving loads from the Byzanium Corporation.
I hate to tell you, but you can't fit a mill there. They're really big. Like, unless it's a really cute little model one.
I hate
How
to
are
tell
you
you this.
machining with,
I hate to
like-
tell you this, but these don't run on steam.
What?
Shit!
There's not even coal in this one here.
How are you ever gonna get it out of some moron? Okay.
Anyway, and then we've got a stock pen here. So
More sheep.
More sheep! Yeah, well, the idea is actually getting to like a prototypical bullshit basis. Is that this could be taking livestock from summer to winter grazing.
Ah.
So that was a thing. That was like most of the narrow gauge like stock rushes and stuff. It wasn't taking stuff to market. Markets were in Denver. It was taking cattle from the high country or cattle, sheep, whatever, to the standard gauge railhead because they did summer grazing in the high mountains.
They've run out of grass. They need to go somewhere else.
Basically, yeah. And then they go to the stock pens in Denver or St. Louis or wherever, and then they get to live happy.
cheeseburgers.
Then they get to live happy lives after that, and we don't talk about it. Beef.
I like
Beef.
cheeseburgers.
That's what's for dinner. So from an operational perspective, what this Y loop arrangement gives you is the ability to both run continuous, so be able to enjoy beverages and just watch trains
Drink
go
beer
by.
and watch trains go in circles.
And also, you can do point to point. So
that is neat.
yeah, so
So you can treat, this is the end of the railroad, and so is this, and this doesn't exist.
yes, basically,
Ish.
I literally put a book or a tree there and go, look, there's no track there. So
No more train.
yeah, so that's that.
So far, what you have is you've got a wood, like this is actually really nice plywood.
Yeah.
Plywood constructed benchwork.
Yep, it's just 3/4 inch plywood ripped into 5-inch strips, and you may wonder, why did you do 5-inch strips? That seems really deep and unnecessary. Well, that is where our handy dandy friend, the tortoise, comes into play. Tortoise.
Tatouage!
So we're gonna go through how to install one of these here shortly, but they stick out, they attach to the underside of the layout here.
Ah.
And I did 5-inch deep.
So you don't see them.
Yeah, so you can be under here and you don't see them, and also more importantly, you don't hit your head on them when you're going underneath the layout.
Smart man.
Yeah, that's what they teach you in grad
I
school.
just said an idiot was smart, so.
Yeah, well, sometimes you get elected too. And also for these, we use a really cool little thing, because I hate soldering tabs.
Sometimes.
And what this is, it's a little
Little
wired terminal lock.
Yeah. That's actually really neat.
Yeah. And then they go, I've got a little manifold set up over here that if you want to come over, you can see the tiniest little Armstrong levers.
Oh my god, I forgot about these. These are just, the switch is now thrown. Oh, it's like Victorian era England.
Yeah.
You got to work in the signal box. Peaches is very pretty. It does.
Well, I think we need to make Peaches a longer place to run. Because right now she can only run to about here.
Yes.
So,
It's more the museum.
So the reason. Ouch.
Cheap shot.
Ouch.
Take it.
Ouch. Who has more track than the museum? Lakeside and Leighton. Yeah.
Does the Denver Zoo have
Oh.
more track than we do?
no,
Do they not?
they used to. Oh, also, Mark, would you mind checking the water level and the layout behind you?
Checking the water level on the lake. Didn't work the second time.
Oh shit. I can't see it.
Good thing there's not a fire. This thing is made out of wood.
Yeah.
Okay, so you built the benchwork.
Yep.
You put the pink foam on top.
Now I put the plywood on top.
Oh, the plywood.
There's another layer of plywood on plywood.
Ah,
This
plywood
is a
on plywood.
marginally thinner
Plywood on plywood action.
This
Oh man,
that's called a fire.
that is actually
Really
correct.
quickly.
We have the plywood, the vertically oriented plywood, and then we have the horizontally oriented plywood.
Yes.
And then we have the pink foam.
Then we have the pink foam, and you may wonder, why do you use the pink foam? Because we're gonna restore it and run it on the branch line. It's the foam.
Oh, right, foaming. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, the reason I did this is that this allows negative space. So the downside about
hate myself.
hey man, that's undergrad.
Colorado School of Mines.
The reason that I've got plywood, foam, cork, and this is just 1-inch foam from Home Depot, is that this allows for negative space. So
Yes.
let's say here, I've got my cliffside here. I want to have just like a little drainage thingy coming in here. If I want to do that, you know, just make a little thingy that pours into the river. Boom, I can do that. I want to stick a tree somewhere. Boom, I can do that.
Push it in.
Yeah, I don't have to fight the plywood.
You don't have to
through
be
it.
drilling or trying to mill down the plywood or anything. Yeah, you just literally just do the foam. Do the foam,
The foam.
thing.
So
yeah.
there is a place for the foam.
Yeah. It seems pretty smart. And then on top of the foam, you have the carg, which is not in the Narth. As we-
Just using plain Jane and scale cork. It makes for a tight fit, but considering I'm doing all this based on CAD, the curves work out pretty good. Then I'll talk about like the sweeps and stuff.
If you put spirals in.
Also, something to note is that the entire grade on this layout, like there's no real vertical elevation change, and that was intentional
Yeah.
because
Little trains don't like grids, and little model steam engines do not pull anything.
yeah, well, not just that, it's a lot more work for not a lot of benefit. I can see that if you are
Little cars don't have handbrakes, so if your yard's built on a hill, you can't store anything in your yard.
yeah
Yes.
You put the car and then it's over there.
Yeah.
So really what I want to do is I do want to demonstrate a, change in elevation and a change in scenery, but I'm doing that through the benchwork. And I'm doing that through the foam. I'm not changing the height of the track.
That makes sense for a model railroad.
And I don't really have enough room here. Like, if I wanted to keep this to a 2 or 3% grade, if I want to rise, 2 inches, or let's say I want to get 4 inches, I'm going to need 100 inches of track.
Yeah.
At a 4% grade. So
Yeah.
it really becomes pretty unreasonable pretty quick.
Yeah.
I am going to have, there's going to be some where, this track here, well, it's not going to be on cork, it's just going to be directly on the foam. But by going from cork to foam, that 1/8 of an inch, that gives me some, I can still play with elevation and still have, side tracks be lower than than main tracks.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Makes sense, because that's one of the real things that we don't talk about too much on the channel, because we don't get to play with real railroad. Because we've just got a museum. Sidings with floating track. Sidings are usually lower than the main line because you don't need to hold it in place with as much ballast.
Roll-off protection too.
Oh, and also that, make sure that trains don't roll into the main. But you can also use a derail for that. So
Do we want to pounce on this shit?
Let's pounce on this shit.
This is a wheel.
Yes.
It is a special wheel in the fact that it is not in
Dear God.
Dear God.
Dear God. It is a wheel that in fact has a bunch of little points on it. And you may wonder, why do you want a wheel with points on it?
That's kind of a pointed question.
The lines! Get the lines!
I do this for free. What the pounce wheel does, and this is something that is actually used in sign making and for sewing patterns and stuff, is that what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run this on top of my line work here, and that will transfer the just as a series of little dots into the foam that then we come back over with Sharpie and come back over with Sharpie, and we know where to lay the track. So this is just allowing me, these are also just called transfer wheels, to transfer the design to the foam. So, and that's another advantage to using the foam.
Yeah.
Okay, Grandpa Simpson. So, I think this is now where we use the power of montage!
Montage! Montage?
Montage. I'm sick. I can't do the voice.
Well, you're gonna get half of a montage. You're just gonna get a mont.
So, what we see here is that lines have been transferred from the paper to the foam, now in Sharpie. The pen! The pen! We're all deeply broken inside.
Yep.
So, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure there's no schmutz on there using the finely calibrated aspect of my lungs. And we're gonna lay the cork. The way we're gonna do this is, got our center line here. The cork, the way it comes, is it's in 2 halves like this, okay? And they're cut at a 45 degree. Yep, that is what it is. And you just rip it apart. So they've each got a 45 degree chamfer on them. One of them's nicer than the other. We've got our joints staggered here. So, oh, there's my box of push pins. We're gonna take our collection of push pins here. That's what's gonna be used to hold everything down.
Oh, we're waiting to drink the glue. I mean, the glue to dry. Sniff the glue.
Sniff the glue way ahead of you.
Hey man, so when you were in kindergarten, this stuff didn't work at all. Now, it's amazing.
Yay, Elmers! Now, stronger formula!
Yeah, so we're just gonna do a little itty bitty happy bead here. We're gonna smear it out with our God-given smearing device.
We're getting high on glue. I thought we were getting high on pot news.
We were getting high on pot news.
Talking about the trigonometry. We're gonna take this here, and we've got way too much glue down, but we're just gonna do with it because there's no
such thing as
mistakes.
too much glue.
Only happy little accidents.
Hey, Bob.
You know, I bet as soon as this releases, I'm gonna get comments from Jimmy Booth going, "You're not doing it right."
Well, it's laid at the wrong gauge.
It is. It's not sin-free.
Yeah, well,
You can still have-
Jimmy Booth comments aside.
yeah, obligatory. I'll bring the flex to regauge it. This is another area where our montage, where the power of montage is going to be helping us.
Yes.
Because this is where we need to smush the track, or smush the cork rather.
The cork.
The cork!
Cork.
Smush the cork such that it is in very good contact with this, and basically we're just gonna go like every inch or so, put a push pin in.
But then your phone's gonna be full of holes, man.
The Union Pacific's gonna restore the Challenger before sending it away. Is that phone full of holes? Does that count?
Yep. Yeah.